Okay, so for my section of the project, I did linear relations. In linear relations, there is one equation which everything branches off of, and that equation is y equals mx plus b. The y in y equals mx plus b represents the y value in the given coordinate. The m represents the slope of the equation. The x represents the x value in the given coordinate, and b represents the y-intercept of the equation. The equation y equals mx plus b forms any given line on a graph. When you have two lines, that is called a linear system. The middle point of the linear system is called the point of intersection, and it is the solution to the system. But that's not all. How exactly are we supposed to find the solution? There are three ways. The first way is graphing. You can graph it, but how exactly are we supposed to do that? Well, here is an example equation. You have x plus y equals 8 and y equals 2x minus 1. Now you have to isolate the variable, making it a negative, and now your equation is y equals negative x plus 8. Graphing it looks like that. Now, using your other equation, you graph it, and the point of intersection, which is 5, 3, is your solution. Now we are moving on to substitution. There are 5 steps to substitution. Number 1, you have to isolate your variable. Number 2, you sub in the value. Number 3, you solve for your variable. Number 4, you sub in your answer from step 3 and solve for another variable. And finally, step 5, you do your left side, right side check. Using the steps we had shown above, we are going to solve for the system we used in our graphing one. So we will isolate the variable, making the equation y equals negative x plus 8. We will sub in negative x plus 8 into the first equation, making it negative x plus 8 equals 2x minus 1. You move those two over, making it 8 plus 1 equals 2x plus x. 9 equals 3x divided by 3, so x equals 3. Now you sub in 3 into your x value, so y equals 2 times 3 minus 1, and y equals 6 minus 1, and y equals 5. For your left side, right side check, you do x plus y equals 8, 3 plus 5 equals 8. How cool! So now we move on to our third and final step of solving for the solution, which is elimination. Now for elimination, we are going to use the same equation as we did for graphing and substitution. So you isolate the variable, and there's your equation, and we need to get rid of y. So we are going to subtract, and it becomes 0y equals 3x minus 9. We move 3x over, so it's negative 3x equals negative 9. You divide, and x equals 3. So you substitute that into your first equation, y equals negative 3 plus 8, y equals 5. Now you do your left side, right side, and 5 equals 2 times 3 minus 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. Wow, holy crap, math is so cool. Oh my goodness. Freaking out right now.
And now for my section of the project, which is trigonometry. First, we start out with primary trig ratios, which is when you have a right angle triangle. The longest side is called the hypotenuse, the opposite side of the indicated angle is called opposite, and the final side is called the adjacent side. SOHCAHTOA. This is an abbreviation we use to remember the rules of finding an unknown in a right angle triangle. This is theta. It is a placeholder for any given angle in the triangle. But what happens if the triangle is not a right angle triangle? Then we name the vertices with the capital A, B, and C, and the opposite sides with the lowercase a, b, and c. This is sine law. This is what we use if we have two sides and a corresponding angle, or if we have two angles and a side. This is cosine law. It can be used if we know three sides of the triangle, or if we know two sides with an angle in between. It can also be rearranged to isolate a squared or to isolate b squared. And this is tangent law. Just kidding, tangent law doesn't have a law.
Ah, loser!
And that concludes our summary of trigonometry,
And linear relations.
which don't really go together, and math is, kind of nasty.
Real nasty.